Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We live. We back, man. Welcome back to the Golden Goose DFS show. I am your host, Chandler Blakely, aka Goose. We are the leaders in single entry 3 max and 20 max content. But even if that's not your particular style of play, like I always tell you, man, if you're playing NBA DFS in general, this is one of the best spots you can be in, man. Go on and hit that subscribe button. Turn your notification bell on so you know when the videos and content drop. Also, do me one small favor this morning, man. Please hit that like button for your boy. Let's get this video to 100 likes, man. We knocking on the door every day. We in that 80 to 90 range. I mean, it's really like 70 to 90 range. But let's get 100 likes more consistently on this video. So if you hear the sound of my voice, do me one small favor. That's all I'm asking for free content. You're checking it out, man. Hit that like button for your boy. It helps the channel grow, man. It's greatly appreciated, and I appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in. This is my starting 5 series. If this is your first time here, where I bring you 5 plays across DraftKings and FanDuel that's more than likely going to be in my player pool. I always say more than likely because things change, news happens throughout the day that affects the plays, and better plays come about once guys are ruled out. So you have to be locked in tune with the news, so you can make the according adjustments to your lineups, all right? If you want to be profitable in NFL, in NBA DFS, all right? Now, let's get to it, man. Got my lineup review, man, going over my best lineups from yesterday's slate, kind of what we did right and what we did wrong, all right? Two mistakes kept us from glory yesterday. Two mistakes. One, too much RJ Barrett, but hey, I live with it. It was the highest total game on the slate. It lived up to the billing. And like I told you on yesterday's video, I'm going to play the ownership game with that first game. And RJ Barrett was one of the lower owned pieces of that Toronto Pacers game. So I was okay getting over the field. I probably had way too much, though. I don't even want to tell you the number of RJ Barrett I had, the amount. Probably had way too much, though, but I was over the field on RJ Barrett. Did not work out for me. He didn't kill me, but definitely with as high scoring as yesterday was, I needed more from him here in this spot. And then the second decision was just too much Jaren Jackson. I talked about him on yesterday's video. 7,900, just a great spot. He gets all the usage, all the work for the Grizzlies. Just did not have it yesterday as they got pretty much manhandled and blew out over there. So those two plays is really kept me from glory last night. RJ Barrett and Jaren Jackson let me down. This is my highest scoring lineup right here, 343. At the top, De'Aaron Fox. The two games everybody was going to, man, Toronto, Indiana, and Miami, Sacramento. I told the gang a good spot to get away from those two games, if you wanted to go away from those games, was the New York Pistons game. And it was viable. They did have some pretty viable options in there. That turned out to be a pretty high-scoring game. Well, higher than what people thought over there. So that was actually a good way to execute it. I didn't get to too much of them because it was a 4 game, and I thought these 2 games were just too good. Fox, 27% on, 51 fantasy points from him. Nice night there as they lose to the Heat, though. Did not see that one coming with all those Heat guys out, but the Heat made it happen. Bear, just talked about him. Scotty Barnes, you saw him yesterday. I had a lot of Scotty Barnes as well. 30% on, 67 fantasy points. Just crushed. Big time triple-double from him in this spot. Harrison Barnes let me down, man. Went back to the well. He's been very up and down, very helter-skelter, but trying to get a low-on piece, trying to get different somewhere. As you know, it's hard to get different on small slates. Let him ride in this spot here. Only 15 fantasy points, man. Definitely needed some more from him at this price tag. Bam Adebayo, 38% on. Told you it was going to be a lot of Bam with all those Heat guys out over there. 56 fantasy points from him. He was very solid. Daylon Wright, everybody's chalk, man. 60% on, smooth 10x on the head. I told the gang, I said he an easy 30. I wish he would have got more, but hey, we'll still take it, man. Still 10x for you at 3K with 30 on the head. Solid outing from him. Benedict Mathurin was just absolutely on one last night, man. Scoring like a superstar out there. 60 fantasy points from him. Big play. Probably your best point per dollar play on the slate last night, man. You needed some Benedict Mathurin if you wanted to take it down. And then Kevin Love at the bottom, man. Was back and forth between Love and Schroeder all night. They ended up scoring identically, but I talked about Schroeder yesterday in the video because I thought Ben Simmons was going to be out, but they played with us before lock saying he was available to play. So I got off of Schroeder and went more Love. But then about 10 to 15 minutes for the game start, when they announced the starting lineup, Schroeder was starting. So I just ended up getting so confused and didn't know what to do on Schroeder, so I went away from him. It didn't make too much of a difference. They pretty much scored around the same. Love outscored them by like 3 fantasy points, 2 or 3 fantasy points here. So they were still pretty similar, but Love solid here at 30 fantasy points from him. That's my best lineup over here, 343. And you will see on FanDuel the same case, man. RJ Barrett and Jaren Jackson, man. Just let me down in this spot. I think I was like 8 points shy of the money over here, 353. No, I just do my one single entry on FanDuel. Jalen Brunson at the top, 58% on, man. 56 fantasy points from him was solid. Daylon Wright, once again, everybody's chalk across both sites, 75% on, 32 fantasy points over here. A little better. Emmanuel Quickly, 60% on, 34 fantasy points. As you can see, I tried to, since I wasn't going Scotty Barnes here, I kind of went to 2 pieces that if they're having a good game, it means Scotty Barnes is not doing as well. Scotty Barnes ended up being the one, so it didn't quite work out for me. But Quickly, 60% on, 34 fantasy points. Had Mathurin, though, 60% on, right at 60 fantasy points for him. RJ Barrett just needed more from him. Quinn Grimes, another little value piece. I had some of him on DK as well. He was solid, man, dropping 30 fantasy points at 3,600 last night. Quinn Grimes and Daylon Wright was 2 valuable value pieces if you had them. Jaren Jackson, man, just 27 fantasy points at 10% on. Really let me down in this spot. Kevin Love at 15% with 28, and then Bam, of course, at the bottom, man. Like I said, 2 plays, man, just Barrett and Jaren Jackson. If I don't get as much as them, it's a way bigger night. But let's get to today's slate, man, and forget about the past. You got to let go of yesterday and move on. That's the beauty of NBA, man. Every day you get a slate for a fresh start to correct what you did wrong on the previous. We got a nice 9-game slate here. They dropped the last 2 games. It's a 2-game late slate tonight. I'll probably jump in that thing as well. But let's talk about this 9-gamer. At the top, point guard, this doesn't change. DeJounte Murray. And guess what? He's on triple-double alert again. I told y'all last time he finished 1 rebound shy. I may bet the triple-double here for DeJounte Murray in this spot. He's on triple-double alert again, going against the Utah Jazz. It is his show now. Trae Young is out for about 4 to 6 weeks over there. We're having to have surgery. This is the DeJounte Murray show, and we've seen this show a couple of times before, and now he gets a great stage to perform his show going against the Utah Jazz. They've been pretty competitive, but that defense is not good. Give me DeJounte Murray. He's going to be on. I don't care. Sign me up for all the DeJounte Murray, 8,900. Just play him. At the shooting guard, I want to look at Donovan Mitchell. 9,400 here in this spot. We saw him return last game out. Didn't do too much for you if you had him in your lineups. But in this spot against the Mavericks, I like him here. Guess that last game was a warm-up, so to speak, and just getting acclimated because this is the first time really that they're really going to have to be able to play games with their actual starting 5. It's been broken up all year, guys missing here and there. They probably only played about 6-7 games with everybody that's starting. With everybody starting with full run. They had a few games earlier before the All-Star break, but Mobley and Garland was limited. So this is probably one of the first couple of games you're going to start seeing them with everybody full go here. Hurts Donovan Mitchell's ceiling a little bit, but this game is going to be so competitive here. I think it's going to push his full run. He's definitely getting full run in this spot. I don't see a blowout going either way. Donovan Mitchell, I'm expecting him to improve on this shot. the Mavericks give it up to the shooting guard spot, man. I definitely have interest in Donovan Mitchell. I know the ownership is not really going to be there, but he could be a diamond in the rough tonight, man. More of a 20 max play, but definitely get some Donovan Mitchell. At the small forward, I have my eye on Lonnie Walker. Now, this is a play we're going to need the news on. Cam Thomas rolled his ankle last night, got x-rays. They came back negative, so he shouldn't be out too long, but I definitely think he misses tonight. And you should be without Ben Simmons. He doesn't play on back-to-backs. He played last night, so they probably rest him tonight. So we having a gap in the starting lineup. We know Dennis Schroeder will be starting in place of Ben Simmons. We know Mikal Bridges is starting, Dorian Finney-Smith, and Nick Claxton. The shooting guard spot could be Lonnie Walker. Now, it doesn't have to be. The Nets have a lot of interchangeable pieces. They can go a lot of different ways. But Lonnie Walker's been getting solid minutes off the bench. And he's similar to a Cam Thompson, and he's mainly a scorer, and he's one of the and he's a guy that can create his own shot. He's a better defender than Cam Thomas, but they're very similar, and they can create their own shots, and they're mainly scoring on the offensive end. I'm looking at Lonnie Walker. Hopefully he moves into the starting lineup. Even if he doesn't, he still should see some more minutes, some increased minutes playing off the bench. He normally plays like 18 to 20. Maybe he can get to that 20-25 minute range. But definitely got my eye on Lonnie Walker. Going to be interested to see that starting lineup, and we should have it before lock because it's a 7 o'clock game. But got my eye on Lonnie Walker, early value piece here. At the power forward spot, I want to look at Karl Anthony Towns going against the San Antonio Spurs, man. Towns has been just solid. Forward is tough. The forward position is really tough today, man. I think everybody's priced close to their max. I think you borderline paying too much for a lot of these forwards. I'm going to Towns here. I think he has the higher ceiling of the guys that's priced similar to him. When you get in and you look at this, look at the forward spot, man. If you're not going Giannis and Wemby, don't really mess with Tatum. Anthony Edwards is solid, but Bridges, Banchero if he plays, Zion, Market and Ingram, all this 8K range. Even Jalen Johnson down here is 7,900. Wagner is decent if Banchero's out. But this whole range, I think you kind of getting guys priced to their max here. I don't think you're going to see guys venture too much higher than what they are right now. Towns is one of those guys who could venture a little higher. I think he has the higher ceiling out of all the plays in this range, especially going against these San Antonio Spurs. It's been pretty solid as of late, man. I like going to him in this spot. It's going to be interesting to see who checks Karl Anthony Towns here. Do Keldon Johnson get a little more run? He's going to have a size advantage on pretty much whoever they start at this power forward unless they switch something up. Give me Karl Anthony Towns at 8,200, man. I like him to continue to perform well. He should be able to have a bigger game in this spot depending on the matchup and who he gets on the individual side of the defense. All right? And the center spot, man, I want to look at Nick Richards. Center's tough today as well. Nick Richards has been solid and pretty consistent as of late, man. Just right in that 30 fantasy point range, a little over, a little less sometimes. At 5,600, man, I take him here against the Milwaukee Bucks. We really gonna need to pay attention though. We need some value to open up. Like I said, if Banchero is out, I don't mind going right back to Wendell Carter Jr. I anticipate them going with that same starting lineup, although they could change it due to the Nets playing smaller. But I'm definitely gonna have some interest in Wendell Carter Jr. if Banchero is out again. But I'm okay with Richards as well. 5,600, like I said, he's been very solid. But we know it's going to be value to open up throughout the day, so we can be able to get some cheaper guys in here and really round out this lineup here. But there you have it, man. Your starting 5 on DraftKings: DeJounte Murray, Donovan Mitchell, Lonnie Walker, Karl Anthony Towns, and Nick Richards. Let's go look at FanDuel and see what I'm feeling over there, all right? At the top, man, we stand with DeJounte Murray, 8,900. Like I told you, triple-double alert. You don't need much analysis. Just play him. At the shooting guard, I want to look at Jordan Clarkson, man. Coming back the other side of this game here. This is the second highest game total on the slate. Both teams do not play great defense at all, or even good defense, man. I'm expecting a high scoring affair. I might bet the over on this one. And Jordan Clarkson, man, he's mainly a scorer, although he had some good assists last time out. I take a big time scorer in a matchup that's going to be fast paced with little defense. So definitely want to take some shots on Jordan Clarkson at 6,300. At the small forward, staying with Lonnie Walker, 4,300. Like I said, man, we just really waiting on some value to open up. But I got my eye on Lonnie Walker as a potential early value piece, man. And I'm going to plug him in wherever I can until something better comes along. But he's going to be solid, especially if he's starting, man. I'm going to have a lot of Lonnie Walker if he starts. At the power forward, Franz Wagner here, 7,900. Now, this is, like I said, this is an injury play. We need Banchero to be out. But even if Banchero plays, you still could be comfortable rolling Franz Wagner out there. I'm not going to get as much of Banchero plays, but he's still a solid play, man. I'm right here. I'm locking him in. I'm going to get to a lot of them if Banchero is out. He's just going to have all the shot creation responsibilities with no Banchero over there and just increase usage. We saw him last time give you a solid game out, and I will go right back to him if Banchero is out. Fine getting to some of them even if Banchero plays, but I'm going to get a lot of them if Banchero is out. And then at the center, man, I'm going to play him. I don't care. Victor Wembanyama, man. The gang will tell you, I play Wembanyama every slate. Does not matter. I just live with whatever he give me. You know what he can do. You know what he's capable of. You're not going to get it. Some nights it's going to be a blowout. He only going to play 27, 26 minutes like he did last time out. Next time it's going to be a little closer. He's going to be playing well. He's going to get all the way to his 30, 31 minutes where he gets to. But you just got to take a shot on Wemby, at least in my eyes, and I'm going to play him pretty much every slate. There you have it, man. Your starting five for FanDuel: Victor Wembanyama, Franz Wagner, Lonnie Walker, Jordan Clarkson, and DeJounte Murray. Get you some exposure to these guys. Get them in your player pools. They for sure gonna be in mine. All right. That's going to do it for us here today, man. Y'all know the motto. Chances make champions. Y'all green up. I'll catch y'all next time, all right? Let's get it.